Why don't you just pull up the first video of the lady who runs a restaurant in California, Sherman Oaks, California, not too far from you, an hour away from you, hour and 15 minutes away from you. Sherman Oaks, California, who this happened to her, and you're going to feel, I mean, this video on Twitter's already got 9 million views. Her GoFundMe right now, what is her GoFundMe at right now? Has it crossed $200,000? I think
Probably.
her GoFundMe
it was 150 yesterday.
It was, when we did the video yesterday, it was 107. Let's see where it's at now. Second one, there you go. 164. Okay, good for, she's the one in the middle. And here's what happened to her. Play the video. Take a look at this, folks.
She runs a sushi spot?
So this is my place, the Pineapple Hill Grill and Saloon. If you go to my page, you can see all the work I did for outdoor dining, for tables being 7 feet apart. And I come in today because I'm organizing a protest, and I came in to get stuff for that. And I walk into my parking lot, and obviously Mayor Garcetti has approved this.
Adam, have you seen this?
I have not seen it yet.
Okay, this is good.
Has
Tom, you've seen
approved.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, watch this.
Oh, damn.
This being set up for a movie company.
A movie?
Yeah.
Movie. Okay.
Movie. But watch what happens
I'm
here.
losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here.
How do you justify
And
that?
people wonder why I'm protesting and why I have had enough. They have not given us money and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this.
Look how far apart they are.
Tell me that this is dangerous.
20 yards.
Yeah.
But right next to me, as a slap in my face, that's safe. This is safe. 50 feet away. This is dangerous. Mayor Garcetti and Gavin Newsom is responsible for every single person that doesn't have unemployment, that does not have a job, and all the businesses that are going under. And we need your help. We need somebody to do something about this.
You know, that's more powerful than if they had scripted it.
Oh, no.
I mean, she is so
listen,
good.
there is no, you feel her pain.
Yeah.
When I first saw that, I was so mad. I mean, I could not believe what I was watching and hearing. I could not believe it, and it brought it all to life. Do you know how much she spent renovating her deck to get it ready? $80,000. 80 grand she paid to renovate that. I know so many stories like that. Garcetti is such a prick. I just can't even believe it. When you heard his reaction to this, my heart goes out to her. And that's all he said. No thoughts, no offer to assist them in any way. It's the beginning. They are trying to legislate fun out of people's lives. I really believe that. I think they have chosen the restaurant industry to demolish it for some reason in some of these states. In California, for sure. I mean, it's unbelievable. Manhattan Beach, you know, we were talking about that last week. These guys are smart because, you know, same thing, you can't have outdoor dining there. In every restaurant, there's a lot of great restaurants there, and they all have outdoor dining. They've designated all their outdoor decks as public parks. So now you can get your takeout and go sit out there. So they found a little loophole, and I'm sure City Hall's ticked off about it. I'm sure LA County's not happy about it. But, man, she's a star now. She was on Fox yesterday. She was as compelling on Neil Cavuto's show yesterday as she was there. I mean, she is going to be the face of this movement from coast to coast. Michigan, watch what's happening there. New York, same thing. It's just the beginning of what's going on.
So 3 quick things. Number one, how do you not feel for that lady? I mean, I don't care where you stand politically, mask, no mask, left, right, up, down. The lady's pouring her heart out right there. If you don't feel for her, like you're missing something going on in your life. So, yeah, I got the chills just watching her. That's number one. Number two, the outdoor dining thing, really? California is that absurd that they're shutting down outdoor dining. Like we all had lunch. We were in Manhattan Beach. There's a big difference between indoor dining and social distancing and all that and outdoor dining. I mean, that I've said the same thing continuously. I don't understand why they're shutting down outdoor restaurants like hers, especially when she set up a specific area for people to eat. And I mean, the hypocrisy of setting up a movie company. You couldn't have scripted that any better. And then here's, I guess, my third point. You said that the mayor responded. It's on you, buddy. It's on you to make a move now. After seeing that, that is a tangible example. Are you just going to sort of be like, oh, my heart goes out to you and give the standard quote? Or are you actually going to say something to that specific situation? Because there's a case example of how you are messing up, buddy. I'm sure there's a million different case examples, but that is now live in effect.
You ever been to a funeral?
Yes, I have.
You ever been to a funeral where a person, you go to funerals and then there's funerals. What I mean by that is you go to funerals where everybody's very amicable. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like, yeah, hey, you know what? Sorry, man. I'm sorry. Hey, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You ever go to a funeral where somebody is crying and you fully feel the pain with zero acting, no drama? You ever been to something like that?
You brought up a story like that last week, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, you go to funerals like this. That's what happened. That's her funeral right there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's the small business's funeral. You just saw that.
But it's a slap in the face,
Of
too,
course
right?
it's a slap in the face because it was caused by something that could have been prevented. That's the stuff that's annoying. Mm-hmm. That's when politics gets in and gets dirty.
Right.
That's when somebody like that takes a hit.
Yep.
But by the way, what people don't realize is, you can only go so far doing this. We're going to keep showing this stuff. Every time a video like this comes up, we're going to show it.
And we should.
How much money did she raise?
$200,000, I think. Something
$160,000, right? Is that a lot of money?
For her, yes.
Yeah.
In general,
okay,
maybe
check this
not.
out. That's after 9.1 million views. She only raised $164,000. Mm-hmm. So that means you need to have a video go viral like this to be able to raise that kind of money. Mm-hmm. How about the rest of the people that don't get this kind of exposure? How about the rest of the people that don't have a video like that gets picked up and goes on TV? How about the rest of the people? How about those guys? How about the people that don't have a platform and don't go communicate and they don't get picked up by anybody? How about them?
Yeah.
Nobody talks about them. You think they're going to be able to raise $200,000, $160,000? No, they're just having to shut down. Now she's going to make it. She's going to be okay because $80,000 she spent on a deck, she's getting that back and more, and she can shut down for a couple months and pay some of her workers and say, guys, let's just kick back.
And she'll be known as the restaurant that did
she
that.
is the face
people
of
will
it
go
right
there.
But how about the rest of the thousands that nothing can be done about?
Coast to coast. I have an idea, and I'm going to throw this out there right now. Why don't Valuetainment, why don't we do a telethon like they do after a big disaster, after a hurricane? We should do a telethon for the restaurant industry. We could raise them tens and tens of millions.
I think that's a great idea. I would actually be very open to that but we would need to collect the stories. I'd want to get people from across. I'd love to be able to do something like that because for me, my concern isn't her. She's fine. She's officially fine. She's officially gonna be known as what? The restaurant.
Oh, sure.
So you're going to go eat there intentionally just to do what? I want to support your business.
She's famous, right?
But the rest of them are the ones that are going to take a massive hit. That's not going to change.
Why is it that the restaurant industry, you said that you thought that the restaurant industry was single-handedly being singled out?
I can't
What
answer
is it
that.
about
They
the
have to
restaurant
answer
industry?
that because they have singled it out. And I'll tell you what, there's a couple tipping points coming up. Wednesday, there's a strong, powerful group of restaurant owners in LA. I mean, it's a great restaurant city, and these guys are ticked off. So they went to LA County, and the judge was told the county that by Wednesday you have to come back here and prove that there's contact tracing, that this is dangerous, that you actually have the data to prove that outdoor dining is spreading COVID. So Wednesday is the day to watch, because if they can't do that, the judge might just open up the outdoor dining for everybody. Here's the other thing I say. It's going to lead to violence. Look what's happening in Michigan, the way Whitmer is shutting down restaurants and everything right there. Those people don't play out there. I mean, they have militias. Remember, they almost tried to abduct the governor. They had this elaborate plan to kill her. It's going to
Let's do it,
Tom.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's kidnap her.
Right. When you see that pain on her face, multiply that by probably 1 million people around the country that work in the restaurant industry. She literally said on Fox yesterday she had 2 employees, family members knew 2 people that committed suicide, that killed themselves since this began. Someone is homeless because of this, and this is just in her little small circle. And they don't give a damn about it, which is just disgusting.
You said 1 million people that work in the restaurant industry? It's not 1 million people. You know what the number is?
More than that.
It's 30 million people. It's not a small number. 10% of Americans work in the service industry. 10% of Americans work in the service industry.
You're talking about bars, restaurants,
everything.
clubs,
You're talking about
nightlife,
15 to
cruise
30
ships.
million. They say as high as 50 million at one point have contributed towards that industry. Like we've all worked in that industry. I've worked in that industry. You worked in the industry before.
You know, Pat, the other thing too is it's not like these restaurant owners. They tried to do with that guy in Staten Island. You know, he called his bar an autonomous zone and tried to keep it open. The city went there.
He raised
$80
grand, by the way.
He did. He raised some money too. But they're playing with fire because they're all dictated by licenses, liquor licenses, right? And things like that, food and beverage licenses. The state can shut them down so easy. So it's not like they can just open the doors.
This is very important for you to repeat one more time. Folks, pay very close attention to what Tom just said right there. Say what you just said one more time.
Right, because if they want to protest and say, screw you, government, we're just going to open our doors and we don't care, the state can just shut them down because they all have liquor licenses.
That's right.
They have licenses to serve food, to have outdoor dining areas. So the state has them, man. They really do.
That is mafia at the highest level.
Their doors stay open contingent on the licensing being active.
And they yank them in a second.
Yeah.
They pull them right away.
But something to add, you know, we've talked about this recovery, and obviously the stock market has bounced back and then some. Is it the V-shaped? Is it the K-shaped? What kind of is it the U-shaped? Is it L-shaped? This is a clear indication of this K-shaped economy where the rich get richer and people that work in the insurance business or the financial services business or anything where you could work from home, you'll be okay. You can work from home. But anything that you need to get out your house and work in the service-based industry, whether it's restaurants, bars, clubs, all that, cruise ships, anything travel-related, hospitality, that's the bottom half of the K-shaped economy. And those people are struggling right now. And that's why Congress needs to frickin' act and get their act together and pass this $1 trillion bill
but
already.
That's not going to solve every problem. Think about these people, man. They also live in California where rent is high. Taxes are high. It's a desperate situation.
That's what's crazy. The two places that are taking the biggest hit is New York and California. And those are the two places that the cost of living is, out of this world. I lived there for a long time. And you know what it is to live in California. It's not cheap living over there. It's very expensive to be living over there.